G'day gamers, Whitebot here with a car vlog, a bearded car vlog. Can you believe it? I don't know how it sounds. It's the first time I'm doing it. I don't know what the angle is like. If you hear a bit of noise, it's because my car has got a lot of shit in it. I just don't seem to pull the shit out of it. But anyway, if this goes well, I'm going to continue on talking about the subject at hand, which is what's on my mind while I'm driving to do some shopping today. And you'll see it in the end anyway. So if you watch this video now, it's what I could consider to be pretty, well, you know, successful. Those clips there from Gears of War UE. Now, look, I know I missed the second shot, but that was because I was shocked at the first shot. In the very first clip, I should have got the kill. But I put those two clips together just to show you that the bullshit works both ways. When you saw me get that down with that person and I came around, that other person came up behind me as Anya, I've got their GT, shot me point blank range twice and I did not die. I got fairly red, but I did not die. I turn around, get one shot and kill them. So the bullshit goes both ways for Gears of War UE. I promise next time I do one of these, it'll be a better clip. So what I want to talk about, people, as I'm driving along in my car, come on mate, like Sydney traffic, mate. This guy seriously could have parked a big 747 there. Like, wow. Obviously they're not in a rush to get to work. So yeah, he's gonna go now. Come on, that's it. Oh my god, yeah, I can't go because of the truck. Yeah, I'll let you go for a truck. Welcome to Sydney traffic, people. So what I want to talk about, as the title says, is video games offend you, don't play them. And what do I mean by that? Well, earlier on this week, the Red Dragon, I'll link his video in the description. The Red Dragon did a video talking about, in France of all countries, can you believe it, are going to monitor video games to ban out sexism in video games. And I've gone like, what? And he was going on about the government pretty much saying, you know, how you can, how the government's going to step in and tell you and tell the developers that this game's too sexist, so you're not going to show it. Similar to what we got here when we did before we had the R rating here in Australia, where it said, you know, if it was too violent, we're not going to let you sell it here in Australia. And he was going on about where do you step the line in that? Why is the government telling you to do this and that? And it's so true, people, because one, I find it awfully hypocritical, because I've been to France, as you know, I've been twice, and I've been through a bit of Europe, not all of it, and I've visited it. And one thing I can tell you about Europe, people, is pretty much from 11 o'clock onwards, free to air, easy for any kid to find, is hardcore porn. I'm not talking soft porn, I'm talking hardcore porn. You know what I mean? Like, where men, and sometimes several men, do some pretty debaucherous stuff to a lady, and sometimes the lady does pretty debaucherous stuff to one man, a group of ladies. You know what I'm talking about, people. You've all seen Pornhub. Let's not kid each other here. And the thing is, then they turn around, they say, you know, video games are sexist. And I'm like, whoa, people, come on, man. Like, come on, friends. 1 minute you're showing hardcore porn, and the next minute, which has real people involved, real subjects, but then you have video games. And I hear of my co-worker, he's saying that video games are violent, that they increase violence, and he's even said himself they show disrespect towards women, and they always paint women in an incredibly sexy way. And I just let it slide with him, because I just don't bait it, but it just got to me too much, and I said to him, listen here, mate, you're one of those people that just don't really see the whole point. And he goes, what's that? I said, well, for starters, how many guys do you know have a six-pack? I mean, the men are drawn in video games like nothing else, like they're super duper heroes, you know, every male character. I mean, look at Marcus Phoenix, look at Bernie, she's my favourite, by the way. But look at Marcus Phoenix and all the male characters, and Dominic Santiago. Come on, they're very unrealistic. But no, we won't look at that. We'll look at what offends and triggers the women and the feminazis out there. Not dealing with the real subject. See, this is what annoys me. If the France government is going to go on about that in video games, it's to show that they're trying to do something, and it's just complete and utter bullshit. They're sugarcoating. They're avoiding the real things that they have to go for. And why do people pick on gamers? And I've always said this is because the majority of gamers just talk amongst themselves and don't take it any further. They just keep on playing the game. So we're an easy target, and everybody thinks gamers are weird and not normal. I mean, for fuck's sake, most of the gamers I know are far normal than normal people. Normal people fucking scare me. You can put a quote on that, man. When I go to certain suburbs here in Sydney, where I live, and there are a lot of churches and there's big McMansions and so forth, and they're usually Anglo-Saxons, white Australians, so I'm not being racist here, people, I'm just saying because I'm white myself, but they're the ones that scared the shit out of me. They freak the hell out of me. They really, really do. I'm getting chills down my spine just talking about how these people freak me out. But anyway, it just annoys me. And you know, I don't like the fact that because parents can't say no to their kids, this is how I feel, that I can't play video games because of that. I mean, how dare any government tell me what games I play and what games I don't play? They have a right to tell me how I treat people in public. They have a right to say, yeah, if a video game is blatantly racist, yeah, I'm all for that. Racism is a general thing. I think it's more of an issue in certain genres that has been for many years than it has been sexism in video games. But no, let's forget that. Let's just look about the sexism thing because, you know, it's easy to jump on the bandwagon. But come on, man, like, come on, friends, just, you know, and people, if you're offended by video games, don't play them. I mean, this is the thing, people see so much, I see so many people getting offended by so much stuff that's on the internet. It's so easy to get around that. All you have to do is just not turn the internet on, walk away from it. You don't have to be on the internet 24/7. There are avenues you can take to remove things which offend you. I mean, I see stuff that offends me every day on the internet. Not much, but it does. But I don't look at it, I don't watch it, and before you know it, it's all gone away. And I don't get offended anymore. And maybe we should stop being so fucking sensitive at times, you know? Far out, everybody's getting so upset because they're not happy who they are. And that's what I think the whole thing is, and it's coming down to, is unfortunately the negative side of the internet is the people that shouldn't have a voice have finally got a voice. And that's really fucked. I mean, can you imagine if people like Adolf Hitler had the internet back in his day? Holy shit. Oh my god, we thought Justin Bieber was bad, man. Fucking hell. So, you know, and what I'm trying to say is people are unhappy with themselves, so they try and change other people's moods. And I see that in person. I'm seeing a lot more of it, particularly here in Sydney. I don't know why. Because they're all interested in everybody else's lives and they get so offended. And because they get offended, let's say something. Let's just get out there and change it. I mean, the classic example one of recently in Hollywood was a huge apocalypse. You know, Apocalypse is the big poster of Apocalypse for the latest X-Men movie, grabbing Mystique around by the throat. And a certain Hollywood actress, I've forgotten her name, complained about it and got on the internet, and Fox Studios changed it. And Alfred Maker-Sin and several other people brought up valid points but say, hang on, one, it's a fictional character. Two, if you're going to be that serious, I didn't see you getting upset about Mystique strangling, killing several other innocent people. Hell, she even tried to kill Peter Dinklage in the last X-Men. Peter Dinklage! You know, I just had to get this off my rant as I'm driving, and people, just to tell you that all these social justice warriors are coming out now. They're coming out bigger and more, and because it always happens, people with the government as well as people on social pages here and there, just before E3. E3's out next week, and you wait for it, man. Like, people are just gonna go balls to the wall, say video game people in the violence, and it's sexist, and it's this, and it's that, and they just gotta look at all the negativity and not look at the positives of it. And trying to change what I like to do is to come back from a hard day's work, and if my girlfriend's busy and she's not doing anything, sit on the couch or my bed, which is my setup, and play the Xbox or the PlayStation 4 and play some video games. That's what I want to do. But there are people out there that think I don't have the right to do that because video games are bad. It was, I don't know much about Mark Twain, but there was one quote that always sticks to my mind. I don't know much about him at all. And he said, what was it? He said, classification is like saying, I can't have a steak because a kid can't chew it. Think about that, people. I can't have a steak because the kid can't chew it. It says a lot in that statement, doesn't it? A lot of people not taking responsibility for their actions and passing the blame onto somebody else. So there you go, people. I'm coming up to my shopping centre. This video is going for quite a while. When I go back, I'm going to see how it turns out. Might edit it down here and there. If not, well, you know, it'll be uploaded. So frag and tab, be good to those on you, and I'll catch you mofos on the battlefield. Man, Sydney traffic is just shit.